Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt with the Movement System. In this video, we're gonna talk about how you can build strong feet. A lot of runners will talk about how they need to stretch more so they don't get injured, but what you might not know is research like this has shown us that feet strengthening can actually reduce your injury risk while running by up to 2.5 times. So in this video, we're gonna show you 5 different drills that you can do to build really strong feet so that way you can run injury-free. Let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so the first drill that we're gonna show you is the floating heel hands-on wall drill. I'm gonna do this on the rack just because it's here. We don't really have a good wall space, but you can do this with just your hands on the wall. What we're gonna do for this drill is we're gonna put the hands on the wall and then we're gonna get into a single leg hip hinge position. This is a really good drill to not only build the arch of your feet and the plantar fascia, but also to build hip strength and good stability through the calf complex and the hamstring. Hands are gonna be in the wall at about chest level. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk our feet back behind our shoulders. Now, we're leaning into the wall and we're pushing the wall away actively. From here, we're gonna shift onto one leg that we're working and we're gonna float that heel up off the ground. A lot of pressure is gonna go down into the base of the big toe here as we start this movement. Now, the whole point of this movement is a hip hinge. So we're gonna hinge at the hip, keeping that heel floating like this. We're gonna reach the opposite leg back, and then we're gonna quickly drive the opposite knee up. So this motion on the way down is very slow and controlled, pushing against the wall, loading up that calf muscle and that plantar fascia in the foot. And then on the way up, it's gonna be a quick, explosive knee drive. This is, again, a really good drill for getting that plantar fascia all the way through the calf, through the hamstring, and even through that glute in the posterior hip. So what I like to do for this, 5 to 8 repetitions, good quality, fast reps each side, explosive knee drive, floating that heel the whole time, and then we're gonna switch. Make sure as you go down, you're getting a good bend to that knee, and you might even feel a little bit of a shake to that calf, especially as you get towards the later reps in your set. Now, one modification that you can actually make to this exercise to make it even more effective for the plantar fascia is to add a wedge. There's a lot of research showing that elevating the big toe with a towel roll or with a wedge actually increases the load through the plantar fascia of the foot and strengthens the arch even better. So the way we're gonna do that is not by putting the wedge like this, but rather by putting the wedge like that and actually extending the big toe more. And now we're really working that plantar fascia here as we load that foot up and then drive up. Load that foot up, drive up. And for anyone wondering, we're using these Prime Fitness wedges. We have 10, 20, and 30 degrees. I think the 10 degree is probably the most useful for this exercise. So for an exercise like this, if you can do it barefoot, that's best. But if you don't have a home gym, you have to go to the gym, you have to wear shoes, try to do it with a minimalist shoe like this where you can get good toe extension. All right, foot strength drill number 2 that we're gonna work is going to be our single leg hops. What you can probably tell is that these are more intense drills than just your basic foot strengthening or towel scrunching drills. But I think that runners especially really need to get to more heavy loads and more intense exercises like these ones to really make good progress on foot strength. So for this single leg hop, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand on one leg and we're gonna start with just an ankle hop. So an ankle hop would just be like this, ankle height, up and down, nice and smooth and rhythmic. And then over time, we wanna build up to shin height, then build up to knee height, and then go to maximal. So what we can even do is ramp up and then ramp back down for your set. So maybe you'll do 5 sets of something like this, where we're starting at ankle height, building up to shin height, and then building up to maximal for a few jumps, and then ramping back down. This is a really good way to do each foot 4 or 5 times and build that plantar fascia strength, build that calf strength to be able to absorb and produce load. All right, drill number 3 that we want you guys to work on to build your foot strength is building up that arch by directly trying to shorten the foot. So let's look at how we're gonna do this. We're gonna be in a split stance like this where 90% of our weight is on that front leg. So you should feel that quad, we should feel that calf going, and most of our weight is through that front leg. Specifically, we want most of our weight through the base of the big toe here, the inner heel, and then a little bit towards that outer foot. We don't want to be gripping the ground with the toes like this. If we're seeing hammer toes, we need to relax the toes, let those lengthen and splay out, and then focus on that tripod of the foot. From here, with most of our weight in the base of the big toe and the inner heel, we want to try to shorten the foot. So what we should see is that that foot actually can kind of lift the arch, and then come back down. Lift the arch, flatten out. Just by doing this, and this is actually some of the exercises that the research has shown has reduced injury risk by up to 2.4 times with running is just by getting some motor control in the foot and training the intrinsic foot muscles to produce an arch and then also to yield the arch. So we can also introduce a little bit of knee movement side to side here to help. So if you're not getting anything, feel free to kind of shift that knee out as you lift the arch. That'll help you a little bit, and then bring that knee in and work on collapsing that arch. Both of those are valuable. Both being able to lift the arch and being able to collapse the arch are really important traits to train. All right, our next foot exercise involves dumbbells. So get a set of dumbbells, and ideally you want the total weight of the 2 dumbbells to be at least half of your body weight. I'm using less than that because I'm already out of breath. But what we want to do is hold half of our body weight total between our 2 hands. So in theory, I'm 200 pounds, I should be holding 50s. I usually do for this, but again, we're going a little bit light here. Now what we're gonna do is a weighted march. So this is gonna be really nice and slow forward march, good strong grip on the weights, good tall posture, and then we're gonna alternate our weight from one foot to the other with a 3-second hold in between. So 1, 2, 3, move forward, hold, 1, 2, 3, move forward, hold. This is an exercise that I did for my triathlon training for my last Ironman, and it made a huge difference in my running form. A lot of people like to do really light band exercises, but actually having a lot of weight in your hand and being on one leg is a really good way to train your hip musculature, as well as how that integrates with the function of the foot. So weighted marches are a really beneficial exercise for runners that a lot of people are overlooking, and it doesn't take a lot of time, 90 seconds usually, with really heavy weights, 1 or 2 sets, and you're gonna see a lot of progress. All right, our 5th exercise, and honestly, you could do just this exercise, and there's been research on individuals just doing this exercise and getting a significant performance benefit to running, and that is barefoot jump rope. The way that the research has been done on this is 10 seconds on, 50 seconds off, week 1, and then 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off, week 2, building up over time. Basically that way to where you're progressing each week. But basically you just want to do a little bit more of jump roping each week until you're doing about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's going to be a really good benefit for your plantar fascia and for your feet. The thing about jump rope is that it is not jumping as high as you can. There's some benefits to that, especially for people who want to dunk and do athletic performance. But for runners, there's actually a lot of benefit to these sub-maximal low intensity jumps, repeating them over and over again. This is what not only conditions your cardiovascular system with the heart rate response that you get from jump roping, but also conditions the plantar fascia, the calf, the Achilles complex, the patellar tendon, and other tendons and ligaments of the lower extremity to be able to accept loads and build capacity. This is why jump ropes are a really good option for athletes to do and for runners to do. And if you don't have a rope, somehow in our giant home gym, we actually don't have a jump rope. I just do pogo hops and it gets the same benefit. Same idea though, rhythmic, low intensity jumps, light on the feet. That's where you're gonna get the benefit. So if you're a runner and you want strong, robust ankles and knees and hips that can handle running, then it's really important you incorporate this type of training consistently, progressively into your training week. I know this has made a huge difference between the first races that I was doing back in college, whenever I was just lifting like a bro, doing a bunch of bench press and not really doing any of this quality preparatory work, leading to essentially limping through the finish of a bunch of triathlons, versus now with this quality work built in, running stronger, faster, healthier than ever. And specifically that's with my Hybrid Athlete program. I know a lot of you guys have already joined the Hybrid Athlete team, but if you're hearing about it for the first time, that's the exact training program that I follow, and it's a training program that's designed to build endurance for running endurance events, plyometric strength to be able to jump, and also strength for the gym. So if you're interested in hitting PRs in the gym on your squats and your deadlifts, but also being able to jump higher, feeling healthier through your lower extremity, and being able to run farther and faster, then this is the program for you. I'll put a link in the description below to do a 7-day free trial, so if you're interested, check it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.